On a rainy, cold morning in October of 1920, Grover Percival, the outgoing mayor of Vancouver, Washington, went out for a leisurely walk around town. He had recently decided not to run for re-election and seemed happy to focus on his family and his successful insurance business.
And Grover was seen walking around downtown, tipping his hat to the ladies, happy.
He smiled as he enjoyed the view during his walk across the newly built interstate bridge. As mayor, Grover had helped get the bridge built a few years prior. It connected Vancouver to Portland and Washington to Oregon. Grover took this walk over his prized interstate bridge often, but his stroll on this drizzly autumn day would be his last.
And then he didn't come home that night.
By the next day, almost the entire town was out searching for the missing mayor. Businesses downtown closed early. Hundreds of men searched high and low around all parts of the city and the Columbia River.
They found bodies downstream, and the family would go, and no, it wasn't him.
Days passed with no trace of Grover. The local newspaper kept a running tab on his absence.
In fact, the Columbian had a little box up in the upper right-hand corner. Still no sign of the mayor.
Rumors flew. Maybe the mayor drowned or left on a train out of town. Or maybe someone killed him. After all, as a politician who fought to build the controversial interstate bridge, Grover had enemies. Some townspeople were very angry about the cost of building the bridge and the tolls that came with it. Nearly a month went by. Coordinated searches started to dwindle. Then, on a cold November day, a hunter discovered an ominous scene in a wilderness area a few miles from town.
Found the mayor hanging from a tree by his handkerchief.
Grover left no farewell note to his wife or family. Investigators declined to call for a formal inquest, saying there was no evidence of foul play.
It was put down as a suicide, though no one could point to a reason. Said he was in good shape, his business was in good shape.
But those who knew Grover refused to believe he did this intentionally. They speculated that he was murdered. Those whispers of something sinister have taken on a life of their own over the decades. They've morphed into a modern-day ghost story. People have reported seeing an apparition of a tall, slender man wearing a fedora walking across the bridge at night.
They had seen a tall, slender figure walking south on the old span. The southbound span is the 100-plus-year-old span. And when the figure got to the hump, it would disappear.
The description of the ghost doesn't match anyone else who perished near the bridge, like those who jumped to their deaths or drowned in the river below. Many believe it's the missing mayor.
He is seen now walking toward Hayden Island to his doom. Whether it was suicide or murder, no one ever knew.
So even though Grover Percival's life ended, his story certainly has not. Today, he's known as the Interstate Bridge Ghost.